Hello, this is Neil from Flavor Studios and welcome to Nostalgic Opinions. In this episode, we will be talking about some of the worst mistakes I myself have ever seen. Don't worry, some of them might not be mistakes, but I'll try to refrain from saying the Nintendo Switch was a mistake. So yeah, first off, what does that look like? Gav says it's a manji, but do you think they would have changed that here? Or also in the United States? It's weird, ain't it? Like, you don't really like, it's just kind of... Like, you would have thought they would have changed it here. And I do know in Japan they do have... think of as a different symbol and not something like... as it's known here. But like, there are some people who do like... from the far right, which is probably the racist and, probably the worst type of people you would ever meet. They would be like, don't worship that symbol. This is shocking since we all know that it's one of the worst things that could ever come to light. Like, I don't really get how that would become something from this book, which says, you might remember, first episode. This is kind of shocking, and you might get how I'm stuttering. It's just since that, like, even now I'm tired from doing this episode. So yeah, and next off, we've got the first looks like a CDI cutscene on on a book saying about the NES. Again, pretty weird. And this thing fell out. Again, very weird. Something you don't really expect, but ain't Sage. Though to be honest, it's basically like, I would imagine 2 years old. On one, but none of my other books do that. And next we do have some pretty weird level names, but there's only one I could really think of that'll be pretty much weird. Genocide City from Sonic 2. Then I'll make it through. But the Japanese have really been checking the dictionaries before they even thought of that. They even put it in the first version of the game. This was before it was released. Don't really know why. Cause didn't I hear from a dictionary that genocide means killing everyone. So that would basically display Dr. Robotnik as a man killer, despite himself being a man. And it's just kind of weird of how Sega of Japan, even classic Sega, as it was back then, 1991, because it was first edition of the game, haven't they even learnt that you should not go for names from different levels just because they sound cool? Genocide doesn't sound cool. Sounds horrible. It's just, right. I'm just glad that level did not make it through, even if it was renamed something else. I'm just glad they just got rid of that. Because if that made it through into the final version of the game, none of us would be happy. And I'm meaning none of us. Not even if it was in just the iOS and Android versions. It's just... Don't you think it's weird of how people could act like idiots? Like me and Mom, we do like planning a sort video, and I've seen many people acted like dicks, even people from Twitter. Even some people followed me for one point, and some still follow me now. It's, don't you think it is kind of shocking of how, like, I'm just glad I have at least my own set of friends I could rely on for advice, and I'm not meaning anyone on Twitter. Yes, even the people I'd refer to on Twitter as friends wouldn't really be past the good friend mark. Like, yes, there are some people who are nice, and I do kind of accept them, happy that those type of people exist, but then there's people just act like total dicks. Like zip heads. Like that, like, don't worry, I can even be referred to as a zip head. And, yeah. It's just kind of shock of how that would kind of still happen, but like, I've already made up my mind about that. But like, what happens when you have to one person when they're surrounded by people who are total idiots, and only a small amount of people he or she could rely on a very bad, horrible road, and a channel they don't have much confidence in, despite throwing everything including their own energy into it. Probably one of the worst knives out there. And basically that is the end of the episode. I know it is short, but it's only 2 days until Christmas Day. That time we could finally be able to wind back. Just kind of enjoy 2018's last few days. So yeah, hopefully that could finally make you feel a lot more better. And that's the end of the episode. If you want, you could subscribe. It's not something you should do to get some horrible names out of a game, but it's a recommendation from me. You could leave a like, or you could leave a like, or you can leave a dislike if you're one of those idiots. Don't worry. If, if, uh, if, if I don't know you and people call you an idiot, it won't mean that I will call you an idiot. That's because I haven't saw how you're like. So, and you could say about it in the comments. Question of the day. Who was the most idiotic person you've ever met? I don't want to make this as if, oh, I hate this person. Just, but you know what, maybe don't answer that. Keep it to yourself. You don't want other people being exceptionally annoyed at your thoughts and opinions. Like, I try not to offend people with my videos. It's just, for some reason it just ends up like that. It's weird. But, it's nice. This is Neil from Flamefire Studios, and this is goodbye for now.